Qualified beneficiaries is any individual who is covered under the plan on the day before the COBRA event. In your manual, we also have an example where, if I add somebody to the plan, afterwards they are not COBRA qualified beneficiaries. So for example, if I'm a COBRA participant and I get married, I can add my wife to COBRA. It doesn't change the 18-month timeline, but that new spouse is not a qualified beneficiary. But there is an exception to that rule, and that is newborns and adopted children. Boy, where have you heard that before? So if let's say you have a guy who goes out the door, elects continuation coverage for he and his wife, and then 4 months later there's a baby born, then I can add the baby to my health insurance. Why? Because of the HIPAA special enrollment rules. But not only can I add the baby to the plan, but that baby, because I'm adding it as the ex-employee, is a COBRA qualified beneficiary. Let's say my daughter Molly ages out and you offer her COBRA continuation coverage and she elects it. And then 9 months later she has a baby. Can she add the baby to her health insurance plan? Yes. Why? Because of the HIPAA special enrollment rules. But in that case, she can add the baby, but the baby is not a qualified beneficiary. For a baby to be a qualified beneficiary, it has to be added by your ex-employee, right? So, and I know that can get a little sticky wicket as well. So we're just trying to throw these things out to make sure that you're at least aware of some of those things so that you can properly administer it. And as always, if you get stuck, we're just a phone call or an email away. Looks like I got a question here. Hang on a second now. I think we answered that. Okay. Hi, Mary Pat. I printed the cert of group health plan coverage. Who do I give this to and when? Actually, Mary Pat, I think I covered that. That HIPAA cert thing that I sent to you is technically not required that it be given to anybody. But I just want it in your hands, so if somebody comes back and says, hey, I need proof that I lost insurance here, you'll have something to give them. Let's talk about health insurance and the FMLA. For you groups that are over 50 and you have to comply with the FMLA, I think in our travels, again, we have found a lot of employers that don't quite understand all of the nuances of what happens under the FMLA and work comp and disability. So for you folks, that's why I sent you that one handout, by the way. What is the FMLA? The FMLA is designed to give an employee time off for a variety of reasons, right? 1, birth. 2, adoption. Heard those a couple of times today. 3, if there's a family member that has a serious health condition. And if you look in that handout on the FMLA, you see that the word family member now means a lot of different people. In the old days, it was just simply my mom and dad, my wife, and my 2 kids, as long as they were under the age of 18. But over the years, that word family member has been expanded, especially if I'm taking time off for a service member who has a serious health condition. Then you can get into aunts and uncles sometimes, depending on the individual situation. They have what's called in loco parentis, meaning that if somebody stood in place of my parents, or if